What's up, y'all? This is Dr. Jewel, and I am so excited to partner with Yes Lord Radio in my new radio show, Ask Dr. Jewel. I'm a doctor of nursing, a professor, a clinician, and your go-to for all things pertaining to mental health, mental wellness, and mental illness. Look, y'all, just call me America's MHS, Mental Health Specialist. So look, you all, it's time. It's time to get your minds right with Ask Dr. Jewel. What's up, y'all? This is Dr. Jewel, and I've got my co-pilot here, Lady V. What's up? How you doing today?
Hey, Dr. Jewel. How are you?
Man, I'm doing all right. Well, look, today we're going to talk about a real serious subject, and I want to talk about this because, you know, we're in the season where we have Mother's Day. Mm-hmm. We've got Father's Day. We have all these weddings that are coming up, graduations, you know, places where we have to be together with people that, you know, we're close to, you know, families and that type of thing.
And even the ones we don't like.
Absolutely. I mean, you're around people, okay?
Right.
This is the people time, all right? But the thing is that I want to talk about this subject because it's so important, because I'm hearing a lot about it, Lady B. Because, you know, when I was growing up, we had like the Brady Bunch.
Yes.
We had the you know, Leave It to Beaver. And,
Mike
you
and
know,
Carol.
Absolutely.
And
We had Little House on the Prairie, folks. You know, this little beautiful, little fun, little loving, little special, little sweet family. You know what I mean? The only dysfunctional ones I saw was Lucy. You know, everybody loved Lucy. You know, but the thing is that, you know, that she was real.
What?
But anyway, my thing is that you got all these families, and everybody is like so loving and wonderful, and they just have a little quirks, but nothing major. But I want people to know, baby, that's not always real. That's not real life, baby. A lot of that is not real life. A lot of us have relationships that are very, very complex, okay? And we need to talk about those. So today's show, we're going to talk about emotionally immature parents.
Uh-oh.
Woo.
Okay.
We're going to talk about the children of emotionally immature parents. Oh,
okay. What's
that's going to be
look
something,
like?
because, you know, they say parents know best. You
Right.
know, do what I say. Parents, you know, they you know, but I'm just telling you, parents have challenges too. So let's talk about it. All right. The adult children of emotionally immature parents. That's coming up next on this week's Ask Dr. Jewel. What's up? We're back, and we have a mega topic here. We're going to talk about today adult children of emotionally immature parents. This is a huge topic, and so, Lady B, you know, I want to attack it with with compassion, with sensitivity, and with mega huge respect. No judgment zone, because that's what we do on ADJ. The goal is for us to talk about these things because, you know, immaturity is real. We are all imperfect people in an imperfect world, and we do imperfect stuff. Okay, it is what it is. And guess what? Oftentimes we learned it in an imperfect way. Okay, a lot of these things are passed down throughout generations. Okay, I didn't know how to handle it, so I model that for my kids. They don't know how to handle it, and then their kids don't know how to handle it. Okay, and so we can't dismiss the fact that a lot of these things are generational, but we also have to deal with the fact that you can break that chain, baby. You feel me? You can always stop that generational curse. You can break that chain. You do not have to take it into future generations. You feel me, Lady V?
Yeah, you have to make generational changes.
There you go. That's right. Yeah. That's right. To do a different generational, to turn the curve and to change generational direction. Okay. And so I just want to talk about that. So let's dig into this topic a little bit, because, you know, I've had people come to me and talk to me about parents. Okay. And so again, if you are a parent, mad love and respect for you. And the thing is that being a parent is one of the hardest things in the world. You know, I am a parent, Lady V. You're a parent. Yes. Nobody gives you a book on that thing. everything. You
no
model.
instruction.
No instruction book, man. The only thing you have is the word. You got to try to figure that out. Then the next thing you know, basically what you do is model what you see, okay?
Right.
I do what my mama did. It worked for me. I lived. I'm breathing. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm emotionally okay. Doesn't mean I'm mentally okay. I could have got messed up in the process because what was abnormal became my normal, baby. You feel me? And so the thing is that you've got to deal with the fact that an abnormal could be your normal now. Right. So unless somebody tells you what is abnormal and you say, that's abnormal, I do that as my normal, then you have it's no way you can turn a corner if you don't know what's right, okay?
And a lot of times we don't even know why we did it.
Come on, we don't even know why we did it.
We don't know why we did it.
That's right. So I want to talk about that. And so you may say, well, Dr. Jewel, man, you coming hard on parents. Let me tell you why I'm doing this episode. I'm doing this episode because I hear a lot of people coming to me who are having challenging relationships with parents, okay? The relationship is very challenged, whether it's a daughter that is challenged with a mother, okay? And you see Mother's Day comes up and you're looking at them and you're like, what are you gonna do for Mother's Day? And they say to you, baby, I have not talked to my mother in 2, 3, 5 years.
That's
okay?
crazy.
Some people, you look at that, you're like, whoa, but I need people to know that is some people's reality. So when you deal with Mother's Day and different holidays, we need to realize and even be sensitive as the body of Christ, as believers, that everybody doesn't feel about the holiday, whatever this holiday. First of all, can we just talk about that? How we come up with a Mother's Day, a Father's Day, a dog day, a cat day? Like, anyway.
It's called MON.
Come on now. There you go. There you go. That's exactly what it's called. And so we have a lot of people mentally and emotionally messed up during these holidays that we made up, okay?
Right.
Capitalism. And and so we did this, and as a result, people feel weighted down based on these holidays, and they feel like they have to concoct some emotion based on the Hallmark commercial, based on whatever they're seeing, all these flowers and all these commercials about families and love, when you're like, I don't even talk to my mama is so far from this. My mama didn't even like me. My mama chose her boyfriend over me. My mama beat me. My mama abused me. My mama molested me. I mean, come on. Come on. We got to keep it real.
You saying, I don't even like my mama.
You hear me?
That's reality.
You hear me? That is reality. Me and my mama, if we're in a room, we ain't gonna, baby, we got about 5 or 10 good minutes before she is popping off. So the thing is that, and then, if you're a man, you may not have a good relationship with your mother. You may not have a good relationship with your father. So the question is, why do we have these problems in relationships? So if we're going to deal with mental health and mental wellness, we've got to deal with the fact that there is such a thing as emotionally immature parents, people that lack emotional intelligence, who are emotionally immature, who are emotionally underdeveloped, okay, who haven't made the milestones that they should make as far as emotional attachment. Okay, that thing is real. It really is real. So we got to talk about it. So, when I throw out this thing about emotionally immaturity, emotional immaturity, let's talk about that, because you may be saying, Dr. Jewel, okay, you told me about this exists. So what does it look like? Because you know what? My parent, or you may be a parent and say, whoa, it's me. It's me. I'm suffering from emotional immaturity. And that's why I may not have the best relationship with my children. Okay.
Well, you don't even know what it is.
Come on. You don't even know what it is. So we got to handle it. We got to deal with some definitions. All right. So let's talk about it. So one thing about emotional immaturity. This is the way it kind of signs and symptoms, okay? An emotionally immature person has difficulty regulating emotions. Okay? They often, if you're a parent, okay, an emotionally immature parent often struggles to manage their emotions, okay? They have mood swings, they're up, they're down. They're high, they're low. You don't know how they're going to show up, okay? They overreact. They're screamers. They throw, they fight, they throw temper tantrums all the time. They have all these outbursts, okay, that are just totally disproportionate to the situation. They are always, we call them drama queens, okay?
Oh, Lord,
they are just pure drama. Everything, they just fly off the handle. Everything is major, okay?
Right.
And so they don't know how to emotionally regulate. Now, a couple of things about that emotionally, immature parent that has problems with regulating is that oftentimes they may have an underlying mental illness. They actually may be bipolar, baby. They may have a mood issue, a mood disorder that has never been checked, okay? What people just do, you duck, you run from them, okay? You try to avoid them. You like mama, daddy is crazy, whatever you say about them, and you try to get out of their way to manage. But guess what? That young child has to deal with that, tsunami. They have to deal with that hurricane. But as they get older, they're going to realize, first of all, you're going to cause sometimes anxiety in these kids because they are so tense because they don't know how you're going to show up. Okay. And so it really, a lot of adults with anxiety. Why do you have anxiety? Could it have been that you had an emotionally immature parent that was up and down all the time, and you learned to hide? You learned to be still. You learned to be quiet. You learned to disappear. You did a lot of things to try to weather that storm, that unpredictable storm. So that is one of the things that you look for an emotionally immature parent.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Dr. Joe. What about that parent, though? I hear you say the drama queen and that anxiety. Because what about when you just want to do everything right? And you want to be the best parent, you want to be, and so therefore now you're that strict mother. You're that person that's like you, that chain. You ain't giving an inch because they ain't taking a mile. None of that. So what about that parent that just wants to be right, just wants to do everything by the book? What do you call that?
Okay, well, sometimes, by the book, what book are you referencing?
True.
Again, because everybody's books of life are different, okay? And so that's why when you're dealing with Christendom, you got to deal with, it's one book that we all go to that we try to use to regulate and try to set some kind of stage for something. You know what I mean? Because all of us are reading different books on different books, different pages, okay? So the thing is that what does that look like? And, I've heard, and I say this, and I'm not trying to be mean, but I've seen mothers who've been totally addicted to substances, okay? Children in and out of foster care systems. The first thing they say to me, is, Dr. Jewel, I've tried to be, I try to be the best parent I can. I try to be a good parent to my kids. And you know what? Their definition of good, that's all they know. They are trying. Subjective. But guess what? It's very subjective, honey. It could change because you may say I was a good parent and your child may be you were you understand? So again, right. That's very subjective. So thanks for saying that, because again, this is not to condemn. This is just to say, hey, did my kids feel this way? Or was I emotionally, or am I emotionally not regulated? And as a result, I don't have the best relationships. Another thing, emotionally immature parents, they lack empathy. Okay. So, they have a problem, difficulty understanding the emotions of others, including their children. So when their children come to them and say, Mom, I feel, and this hurt my feelings, they just can't, why?
What's feelings got to do with it?
Why?
Like,
they dismiss you and why you feel that way. You shouldn't feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of parents, why you scared? Why you this?
Why you crying?
Why you crying? Why you get up? You invalidate them, okay? And so you're unable to provide the emotional support and understanding for your children. You're just hard. I'm just hard. You need to grow. You need to, it's real life, toughen up, all of that. But the thing is that where did you learn that from? Right. Not showing emotions, not hurting, not owning the fact that you hurt, you're fragile. Somebody did something, to you that really injured you, that made you feel less than. And so what do? You arm yourself with this, I'm super woman. No, that is that's fake, man. It's fake. It's a facade. You hurting, you just like other people. Right. But then what you do, you pass on this thing to your children and make them think, you got to be hard. You can't cry. You got to man up, woman, whatever it is that you do. It is so unrealistic. And so you have a child who doesn't know how to express feelings, and then when they try, you invalidate it because you let them live by some principle, something that you learn that is totally dysfunctional.
And then you wondering why your son done smacked his girlfriend.
Come on, okay. It's just What are you modeling? What are you
Yeah.
modeling? And so again, the lack of empathy, sympathy, when your child comes to you and says, I hurt, I didn't do well in something, I didn't pass the test. What's wrong with you? That's like your dad. I mean, that's just dumb. Just all it, y'all, it goes on and on.
Right.
So, we need to press pause. Are you empathetic? Are you able to? Because look, emotionally immature parents struggle with empathy. They don't even know why. They struggle with it. So if you struggle with that person is you, then that could be an area that needs strengthening. And another area, okay, we can't overlook this, is that emotionally immature parents are oftentimes very self-centered. Okay, very self-centered. They basically focus on their own needs. Okay, they don't really care about the needs and desires of other people around them. Their needs and concerns and desires come first. So they always try to one-up you. That's the parent that you're like, Mom, I feel lonely. I've been by myself forever. I done been by myself for 20 years. I ain't got no mate. I mean, every conversation leads back to them. Okay. Well, Ma, it's hard in school. Well, I remember I had to walk to school and nobody did anything for me and don't nobody do nothing for me. And you trying to get to I need somebody to do something for me. I mean, it is always, all roads always lead back to them. They don't hear you because all they hear is their needs, their desires, and their concerns. And so they're very self-centered. Your kids struggle with that because it's like, I can't get anything in edgewise because you're always the priority. What about me? Okay. Now, another thing, dependency. Okay. They rely really heavily on their children for emotional support, and they kind of treat them like they're confidants. Okay. Right. And so, they burden oftentimes their adult children with their issues or concerns. Okay. And sometimes they're not appropriate for their age. So I see a lot of mothers, younger children, telling them everything about their lives, their, who they with, their problems with their husbands. I mean, they're telling kids things. They rely and depend on their kids in a totally inappropriate way. Your child is your child. Your child is not your confidant. Your child is not the one that you talk about your husband to, your boyfriend, your girlfriend. You don't wear them down with everything that's going on with you at the job, how you can't pay this, how that is very difficult, and they are very dependent on their children to be, that support, their confidant. Mama, I love you, and they do you love me? And they always, what you gonna do for me from other things? Well, they did this for their mom, or they did this for their daddy. Like, what you gonna do for me? They're very dependent emotionally. Like, if they go somewhere, you want to go with me? Can you go with me? They want to take them everywhere, do everything with them. The thing is that that's not your best friend. That is your child. They have a life. They don't want to tell you no. They want to love you. They want to support you, but it should not be burdensome. They should not feel guilt when they say no to you because they want to do something with their lives. You have yours, let them have theirs. So that is a sign that you may need to grow up in that area. Also, poor communication skills. Okay, emotionally immature parents struggle with effective communication. Okay, sometimes they resort to being real passive aggressive. They're very manipulative. Okay, they always avoid difficult conversations altogether. They may have difficulty expressing their own emotions or listening to others. They become very defensive, very dismissive. They have poor communication skills. Oh, we ain't gonna talk about it. I ain't gonna talk about that. And they just move on. Or no, they shut you down, cut it off, or they make, very sarcastic in their comments. Everything is sarcastic. They don't know how to address tough issues head on. They don't know how to communicate that. You know what? When you said this, it made me feel, it hurt me. Everything comes out rant, rage. They either avoid it or they shut down, and you have to ask them a million times, what's wrong, Mama? What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong, Daddy? What's wrong? I mean, all of that. They should not have to fight to try to figure out what's wrong with you. That is a sign of emotional immaturity. Okay. They also have very inconsistent parenting. Okay. They have difficulty establishing and maintaining boundaries. rules and expectations of their children, okay? And so they fluctuate. Either they let you do everything, okay, because they want you to love them, or they don't let you do anything. They set up all these controls. I mean, their parenting style fluctuates. And so that is very inconsistent. That is very challenging, because then you have siblings that are like, well, they get to do everything. They get to do nothing. It's just total inconsistency. Why is there inconsistency? Okay. And also they have difficulty taking responsibility. They often struggle taking responsibility for their actions. They blame you. They blame everybody or external circumstances for their problems. They lack accountability, okay? And they're unable to self-reflect. So when you're talking to them and you're like, Mama, can you see how this may have hurt me? Or Dad, can you see how when you told me I was dumb, how that well, no, I mean, I don't understand, they can't see anything. They can't even own what they do enough to say, you know what, that may have injured you. That may have hurt you. I am so sorry that I did that. That apology, man, it's just not in them. They are just kind of like, that's just the way I raised up. Okay, fine. But can you own that wasn't cool? You hurt me and injured me in that. Can you own that? Man, they have problems with self-reflection. I don't care. You will spend hours presenting the evidence on what they did, how they did it, how it offended, how it hurt, how it messed up the family. They refuse to look at it or accept it, okay? So that is a sign of emotionally immature parents. So y'all, we're going to come back and talk about it. It's time to get your minds right.
Yes.
Those are the signs and symptoms of emotional immaturity. Whoa, Lady V, I feel some heat up in this discussion, baby. It's getting hot in here. I need you to keep on everything.
Keep on y'all's clothes.
Keep on everything. Okay, boy. What I'm going to say right here, I want to talk about it. We're talking about emotionally immature parents, okay? And if this is you, or if you're like, oh my goodness, because I'm here in the studio and everybody's like, woohoo, whoa. Okay, it's hitting everybody, y'all. Everybody getting hit with this one. But the moral story is this: it's never too late to change. As long as you're on this side of the grass, man, it's never too late to change. If the person is you, hey, you can change. If that's your parent, at least you understand them. Okay, I don't want you to be condemned. Look, sometimes unless they become mature, this is who they are. This is what they're going to be. They don't have the bandwidth to give you what you need, give you what you desire. They're not going to be able to connect. They're not going to be able to empathize. They're not going to be able to own their responsibility and things. So I want to give a few things. I want to just hit a few items here. If you are emotionally immature, this is the way it may look, okay? When is the last time you said, I love you to your children? Okay. Are you so hard, okay, that you never say I love you to your children? And then if you say I love you to your kids and they look at you like, whoa, or Mom and Dad, or I've never seen you cry. Whoa. If that's the case, that may be a sign of emotional immaturity. Why don't you cry? What's up with you? Why haven't you ever said, I love you to your kids? What's going on with that? Okay. Also, when you talk to your children, okay, and they're talking to you, but you have problems listening, okay, you cut them off. Everything is about you defending what's going on, what they're saying. You're interjecting. You're not giving them time to share their feelings. And then when they do share them, all roads lead back to you. How bad you had it, how you were offended, what's wrong with me. I mean, everything, all roads lead back to you. You know that there may be some emotional immaturity. And I'm going to throw this last one out here because this one is a little hard, but I'm going to throw it out here because that's what we're doing. It's time to get our minds right. We got to deal with it. So when you don't own your responsibility as a parent in a given situation, that's a problem. That's a sign of emotional immaturity. When you cannot self-reflect and you can't see your responsibility. How many people do I have in the clinic, okay, coming and talking about the fact that their parents didn't own the fact that, you know what? You allowed this to happen to your child. Your relationship with that person, whether it was male or female, your friends impacted your children in adverse ways. You allowed your children to be touched. You didn't hear them, okay, when they cried out for help. Okay, you didn't when they were telling you that certain things happened to them or displayed some types of emotions. You were so self-absorbed that you didn't see that they were crashing, they were burning. You didn't see that, they were turning to other things that may not have been right because you were so self-absorbed, okay? And so my thing is this. Look, that can be any parent. This is not to condemn, but the thing is, an emotionally mature person owns their responsibility in a given situation, and they can look at their children and instead of accusing and blaming everybody else. Do you know sometimes all your children need to hear is that, you know what? I screwed it up. I got it wrong. I was not emotionally well, mentally well. I was selfish. They just need to hear that from you, okay? But that takes emotional maturity to do that. So if you want to resurrect some relationships, take a look at those things. Let's think about them. So I want to share this with you because I think that this is important as we deal with this. Okay, parents, again, it's never too late to change. Children, you need to know that these are the signs and symptoms of emotional immaturity in your parents. And I want to give a shout out to, the kids, okay? The thing is that realize that it's okay to have that hurt, to have that injury. It's okay for you to feel the way you feel, okay? So please know it's okay. Don't be bullied into a healthy relationship that is not healthy. Now I'm going to get some things with, church folk, the church saying, you got to love, you forgive. Look, I believe in all of loving and forgiving, but what am I forgiving someone of? What does that look like? Okay. What does forgiveness look like? Forgiveness means that we got to own what you did, that I am forgiving. Okay. Yes, I can let it go, but can you at least own that you did it? Okay. And just because I forgive you does not mean that we're going to have a perfect, beautiful, wonderful relationship afterwards. It does not mean it. Okay. Now, can it be restored? Absolutely. But sometimes is it not restored? Absolutely. Okay. It takes work. If you destroyed it, if you were not mature, don't expect just because you're getting a little bit more maturity that takes away all of the years that you were emotionally immature and the damage that it did possibly to the people that you love most, and that's your children. Just because you're getting it right doesn't mean that that's going to totally reverse everything that was done wrong immediately, okay? Now, part of loving people in Christendom and saying, you know what, I realize that there may have been an issue. I realize that. And as a person that wants to love you well and that can forgive you, I am ready and open for us to restore and rejuvenate this relationship. Okay. So I want to throw that out there. Look, we're going to keep talking about this. We're going to do a part 2 of this. So the next show on Ask Dr. Jewel, we're going to talk about what do you do as a child. If you are the adult child of an emotionally immature parent, we're going to talk about some things that you can do to help yourself in this area so that you can be built up, so that you can be restored, and so that you don't have expectations that are totally unrealistic for an emotionally immature parent. Look, they can't give you what they don't have. That you can't concoct maturity, baby. You can't do it. So some of you are wanting them to love you, say I love you, nurture you, support you, and they just can't do it. So we're going to talk about that on the next Ask Dr. Jewel. Lady V, you got anything to say this before we close?
No, this was a great show, Dr. Jewel. Thank you.
Well, I hope you got something from it. I hope all of you got something from it. And look, you all, it's time to get your minds right. There's no shame in your game. You just got to own it and be willing to turn and change, because guess what? We all can. We just got to put the work in. So the next show, again, we're going to talk to those Children, how you deal with it, all right? How you deal with that parent? That's next on Ask Dr. Jewel. Look, we want to give a shout out to Yes Lord Radio. Thank you so much for this opportunity. We pray that we are making an impact through our transparency. We pray that we're making an impact through being real and giving our lived experiences, but more than anything, helping you through our education, our tools, and our bricks to get your minds right, okay? So we'll see you next time on Ask Dr. Jewel. It's time to get your mind right.
Get it right.
All right, y'all.
Okay.